You may be struggling right now. Perhaps the weight of uncertainty presses down on your shoulders so heavily that even breathing feels like a challenge. Maybe you're lying awake at night wondering if life will ever get easier, questioning your choices or doubting your worth. If this is you, I want you to know that you are not alone. Every person you see, every soul walking this earth has faced moments like this. Moments where hope seems distant and fear whispers louder than courage. Imagine a young person filled with dreams, starting a new chapter in life. They pour their heart into their work, their studies, their relationships, believing that effort alone can shape destiny. Yet setbacks come, projects fail, opportunities slip away, relationships falter, and with each disappointment, doubt grows. The mind begins to ask, am I enough? Will things ever change? Doubt is natural. It is human. It is the mind's way of testing faith in ourselves and in the world around us. But here's the truth. Doubt does not define your path. Doubt is not a verdict on your potential. It is merely a moment, fleeting and temporary, that can be overcome. And the first step to overcoming it is understanding that trusting in something greater than yourself, trusting in the process, trusting in life's rhythm is not weakness. It is the quiet strength that carries you forward, even when the night seems endless. Think about a seed buried deep under soil. For a long time, it may feel stuck, trapped in darkness, unsure if it will ever break through the surface. But beneath that soil, unseen and unheard, life is stirring. Roots grow, energy builds, and eventually the seed will break through, reaching toward light it cannot yet imagine. You are that seed. Even when doubt surrounds you, even when fear clouds your mind, life is working inside you, preparing you to rise. You may have faced moments when failure seemed permanent. Perhaps a dream was shattered, a plan went awry, or a loved one disappointed you. It's normal to feel lost, to feel the sting of despair. But the same force that allows the sun to rise after the longest night is present within you. When you allow yourself to trust, not in outcomes but in the journey, you tap into a source of resilience so profound it can carry you through any storm. The world may have taught you to measure success by results, by achievements, by recognition. But true strength lies in trusting the unseen, believing in your heart when the evidence says otherwise. You may not see the path ahead clearly, but the act of trusting is itself a path. It is a choice to rise above fear, to embrace hope, to take the next step even when your mind shouts to retreat. Every challenge you face is not a punishment. It is an invitation to grow, to learn, to discover courage you never knew existed. When doubt creeps in, remember that your potential is limitless. You may not have the map, but trust in the journey will guide your feet. And even when the road feels uncertain, know that you are moving, growing, and inching closer to the life you are meant to live. Perhaps you feel lost, like the weight of the world is pressing down and you cannot find your footing. Struggle can feel isolating, but it is one of the most profound teachers we encounter. Every obstacle, every heartbreak, every failure holds a lesson hidden beneath its surface. The key is learning to embrace the struggle instead of running from it. Imagine a person walking through a dense forest. The path is unclear. The branches scratch at their skin and the ground feels uneven. They could stop, paralyzed by fear, or they could take each step with trust, learning to navigate the terrain, slowly becoming stronger, more aware, and more capable. That forest, full of uncertainty, mirrors life itself. And just as the traveler eventually finds a clearing, so too will you find moments of clarity, peace, and fulfillment if you do not give up. There's a beauty in struggle that many overlook. Struggle shapes character. It teaches patience, resilience, and empathy. When we confront difficulties, we learn more about ourselves than any triumph could teach. A person who has faced heartbreak and disappointment carries wisdom in their heart that cannot be gained through ease alone. And the most remarkable thing, each struggle carries within it the seeds of transformation. Consider the story of someone starting over after losing everything. Maybe a job, a relationship, or a dream. The loss feels unbearable, the pain is raw. Yet slowly they begin to rebuild, step by step, decision by decision. They learn that strength grows in the cracks of our brokenness. The hardship they once feared becomes the very foundation upon which they build a new life. And this is not a story of luck or coincidence. It is a story of trust. Trust that even when life seems unfair, every moment holds purpose and every struggle has meaning. You too can embrace your struggle. You may feel scared or inadequate, but that does not define you. Struggle is not your enemy, it is your teacher. And when you begin to welcome it, when you begin to trust the process, you will discover that nothing can truly hold you back. The obstacles are not walls, they are stepping stones. Each challenge you face is preparing you for the life you are meant to live, for the version of yourself you are becoming. Hope is not naive. Hope is not wishful thinking. Hope is a quiet force that persists even in the darkest moments. When the world feels heavy, hope is the light that flickers in the distance, reminding you that tomorrow can be better, that change is possible, and that your heart still has room for dreams. Think about a person who has faced repeated disappointments. Each time they try, failure greets them. Each time they hope, the world seems to respond with more obstacles. It would be easy to give up, to surrender to despair. But within them a spark remains. That spark is hope. It whispers softly, keep going, believe in yourself, believe in the unseen. And it is that whisper that eventually turns into a roar of courage, propelling them to overcome what once seemed impossible. Hope is not passive, it is an active choice. Choosing hope means choosing to see possibilities where others see dead ends. It means believing that life can surprise you, that joy can exist even amidst pain, and that your efforts, no matter how small, can create ripples of change. There was a woman who dreamed of starting her own business, but the odds were stacked against her. She faced rejection, financial hardship, and doubt from those around her. Yet she held on to hope. Day after day, she took small steps toward her dream. Slowly, doors opened. Opportunities emerged, and one day she realized that she had created a life she once thought impossible, all because she chose hope over despair. You too can choose hope when fear whispers that it's too late, when doubt tells you to quit. Let hope be louder. Let it remind you that even when life feels uncertain, there is always a way forward. Let it remind you that miracles happen, not always in grand gestures, but often in the quiet moments of persistence, courage, and faith. You may have begun to feel the gentle stirrings of change, a faint whisper within you that says, I can move forward. Yet even as hope grows, fear often follows closely behind. It is natural. Every step towards something new is accompanied by uncertainty, and the mind instinctively searches for reasons to hesitate. Perhaps you have felt it yourself, the quiet, insidious voice of doubt, questioning your worth, questioning your readiness, questioning whether you truly deserve the life you dream of. But here is the truth. Fear does not determine your path, and hesitation does not define your potential. What defines you is the courage to take the next step anyway. The willingness to trust in yourself and in the journey, even when the road ahead is shrouded in mist. Imagine someone standing at the edge of a vast, unfamiliar forest. The trees loom tall and intimidating, their shadows stretching long across the path, and yet something inside urges them to move forward. Every nerve in their body wants to retreat, to return to the safety of what is known. But the traveler remembers a simple truth. The only way to reach the clearing beyond is to take the first step, no matter how trembling that step might be. And as they walk, the path begins to reveal itself. Small signs appear, broken branches, footprints, the whisper of wind that guide their way. Step by step, they gain confidence until the forest no longer feels frightening, but alive with possibility. You are that traveler. Each act of trust, each moment of perseverance is a step through the forest of uncertainty, bringing you closer to a place of clarity, peace, and fulfillment. Life has a way of testing patience. You may have poured your heart into a dream, giving all that you had, only to face obstacles that feel unfair or insurmountable. Perhaps you have worked tirelessly, yet the recognition never came. Perhaps you have tried to mend a broken relationship, yet the connection remained distant. These moments can feel like walls closing in, leaving you stranded in frustration and self-doubt. But consider this: every obstacle carries within it a hidden lesson. Every setback, no matter how painful, is shaping you for the next chapter of your life. Pain teaches empathy, disappointment teaches resilience, and struggle teaches strength that no comfort ever could. When you learn to see obstacles as guides rather than barriers, you begin to transform the very way you experience life. Challenges stop being enemies and become companions on your journey. Perhaps you feel weighed down by expectations, those imposed by society, by family, or even by yourself. You may look at the achievements of others and feel that your own progress is insufficient. But progress is never a race. Life is not measured by milestones alone. It is measured by the courage it takes to continue moving forward, the willingness to rise each time you fall, and the grace to honor your own pace. Consider someone rebuilding their life after a major loss. Every small action, sending a single email, taking a short walk, smiling at a stranger, may seem insignificant at the moment, but each one is a thread weaving the fabric of a renewed existence. What matters is consistency, patience, and the choice to trust that every effort, no matter how minor, contributes to a greater purpose. The journey toward trust is not linear. There will be days when doubt feels overpowering, when the world seems to conspire against your dreams, and when your own mind feels like a storm. In these moments, it is vital to remember that resilience is born not in comfort but in persistence. Even when you feel you have nothing left, even when your body is weary and your heart aches, the act of showing up, of continuing, of choosing hope is a declaration of strength. Picture a river cutting through rock, not because of sudden force, but because of steady persistence over time. The water does not rush in panic, it flows calmly, continuously, shaping the landscape gently, yet irrevocably. So too does your perseverance carve a path through life, shaping circumstances and character in ways that may be invisible for now, but will become unmistakably clear in the future. There will be moments of solitude when you feel unseen and unheard, when the silence around you echoes louder than any encouragement you could hope for. In these moments, it is essential to remember that solitude is not emptiness, it is preparation. It is the soil in which self-awareness grows, the quiet space where clarity takes root. Many who have achieved great transformation have first journeyed through the depths of their own solitude, learning to listen to the inner voice, to recognize their desires, fears, and strengths. This is not loneliness, this is self-discovery. By embracing these moments, you begin to cultivate an unshakable inner foundation, a source of strength that no external circumstance can erode. Now imagine the ripple effect of trust. Every time you choose to believe in your own potential, every time you act despite fear, every time you continue despite setbacks, you create waves that touch not only your life, but the lives of those around you. One small act of courage can inspire another. One moment of persistence can ignite hope in someone else. Your journey, with all its trials and triumphs, becomes a beacon of possibility. And as you walk forward, you realize that the process of trusting, the act of holding on to hope while navigating challenges, is itself the transformation you have been seeking. You are becoming stronger, wiser, and more capable with every passing day. Perhaps you have noticed how small victories can illuminate even the darkest of times. The first time you push through fear and succeed, no matter how minor the achievement, it feels monumental. These victories accumulate, building momentum that propels you forward. And over time, the accumulation of consistent, courageous action creates a life that once seemed unattainable. You may not see the full picture yet, but the pieces are coming together, and each step brings you closer to the realization that nothing is impossible when trust guides your heart. So as you continue on your path, remember this: fear will come, doubt will visit, and obstacles will appear. But each time you respond with a trust, with a patience, with a quiet perseverance, you grow. Every step forward, no matter how small, is proof that you are capable of far more than you realize. Life may be uncertain, the future may be unseen, but your willingness to keep moving, to keep trusting, is a force more powerful than any challenge that stands in your way. And slowly, gently, as you continue to place one foot in front of the other, you begin to discover the extraordinary power that resides within you, the power to rise, to heal, and to thrive, no matter what comes. As you move forward, you may notice that life begins to test not only your resolve, but your vision. Perhaps you started to see glimpses of possibility, the faint outlines of dreams you once thought unreachable. But with those glimpses come questions. Am I ready? Will this last? What if I fail again? These questions are natural, for every journey toward growth invites reflection, uncertainty, and the temptation to pause. Yet it is in these moments, when the heart and mind waver, that trust becomes most vital. Trust is not simply believing that things will turn out as you hope. It is believing in your ability to navigate whatever comes, confident that every experience holds meaning, every step contributes to your growth, and every challenge is shaping the person you are meant to become. Imagine a young artist who has spent years perfecting their craft. Each day they pour their soul into their work, often receiving little recognition, sometimes facing rejection after rejection. It would be easy to surrender, to abandon their dreams and retreat into safety. But the artist continues, not because they are naive, but because they have learned that the act of creating itself is a form of trust. Trust in their own potential. Trust that the journey matters even if the destination is unseen. And trust that persistence transforms effort into eventual triumph. Step by step, painting by painting, their dedication begins to yield small victories. A smile from a viewer, a small commission, a quiet acknowledgement from someone who recognizes the depth of their work. These moments, though seemingly minor, are proof that consistency, hope, and trust can gradually reshape reality. Perhaps you too are striving to create something meaningful in your life, a relationship, a career, a personal transformation. At times, it may feel as though the world moves too quickly, or that the obstacles are too great. You may find yourself comparing your progress to others, feeling that your path is slower or less certain. But the truth is, your journey is unique, and it unfolds according to its own rhythm. Every person has seasons of growth and seasons of waiting. The key is not to measure your pace against anyone else, but to honor your own persistence, your own courage, and your willingness to continue despite uncertainty. Trust also grows when we embrace the power of small actions. Consider a gardener tending to a plot of land. Each day, they water the plants, pull the weeds, and carefully observe growth. It may seem tedious or insignificant at times, yet their patience and consistent effort eventually result in a flourishing garden, a transformation that could not have been rushed or forced. Life works in a similar way. Every kind word, every decision to persevere, every moment of self-care, and every act of courage is like watering the seeds of your future. Over time, these small, seemingly ordinary actions accumulate, creating extraordinary change. There will be days when you question whether your efforts are enough, when the weight of responsibilities, disappointments, or setbacks feels overwhelming. You may wonder if it is worth continuing, if your hopes are realistic, or if you are capable of reaching the life you desire. These doubts are natural, but they are not permanent. They are a part of the journey, reminders that growth is a process rather than an instant transformation. When you recognize doubt without surrendering to it, you create space for resilience, hope, and courage to flourish. Each time you choose to act despite uncertainty, you are reinforcing a truth that is greater than any fear. You are capable of far more than you realize. The power of trust is also reflected in the way we handle setbacks. Life rarely unfolds according to a perfect plan. There will be moments of loss, disappointment, or unexpected change. Perhaps a relationship falters, a career path shifts, or a personal goal seems out of reach. These moments, though painful, are not indicators of failure. They are opportunities for growth. The way we respond to them determines our trajectory. By trusting that each experience carries a lesson and a purpose, you transform adversity into a catalyst for strength, wisdom, and resilience. You begin to see that setbacks are not walls but detours, guiding you toward new paths that you may not have considered otherwise. Imagine someone learning to walk again after an injury. The process is slow, filled with frustration and doubt. Every step feels uncertain, and yet, with consistent effort, guidance, and trust in their own capacity to heal, progress emerges. Eventually, movement becomes fluid, confidence returns, and the person regains abilities they once thought lost forever. This is the essence of growth. Trusting the process, embracing the struggle, and remaining steadfast even when the outcome is not immediately visible. As you continue to trust, you may notice a shift in perspective. Challenges begin to feel less like threats and more like opportunities for learning and expansion. Fear loses some of its grip, replaced by a quiet confidence that comes from knowing you have faced difficulties before and emerged stronger. This inner strength is not flashy or loud. It is steady, unshakable, and enduring. It allows you to navigate life with grace, patience, and courage, confident that no matter what arises, you possess the tools to move forward, to heal, and to thrive. Consider the ripple effect of trust in your life. Each time you choose hope over despair, each time you act despite fear, each time you persist through difficulty, you create energy that reaches beyond yourself. Your courage and resilience inspire those around you, whether they recognize it or not. You become a living example of possibility, proof that life's challenges do not define your limits, and that trust in the process can transform ordinary lives into extraordinary ones. It is also important to recognize that progress is not always visible. Growth often occurs quietly beneath the surface in ways that cannot be measured by immediate results. Just as roots grow unseen beneath the soil before a plant blooms, your efforts, patience, and trust are preparing you for breakthroughs that may not yet be apparent. Each moment of persistence, each decision to rise despite setbacks, is shaping your future in profound ways. The day will come when you look back and see the trajectory you have forged, realizing that every challenge, every act of courage, and every choice to trust has been a vital part of your journey. So as you move forward, remember this: the path will not always be smooth, the future may be uncertain, and doubts will arise. But in choosing to trust yourself, to act despite fear, and to embrace the journey with patience and courage, you are building a life of resilience, growth, and extraordinary possibility. Each step, no matter how small, carries you closer to the life you are capable of creating. And slowly, gently, as you continue to trust and persist, you begin to uncover a truth that is both simple and profound. Nothing is impossible for a heart that believes and a spirit that refuses to surrender. As you continue along this journey, you may begin to sense a quiet transformation taking place within yourself. It is subtle at first, like the soft glow of dawn creeping over the horizon, barely noticeable, yet undeniable. Perhaps you feel more patient, more resilient, or more aware of your own strength. You may even catch yourself pausing less in fear and taking more steps forward in faith. This is the power of trust in action, the kind that does not promise an immediate resolution or instant success, but gradually reshapes your heart, mind, and spirit into something unshakable. Every challenge you have faced, every doubt you have confronted, and every moment you have chosen persistence over surrender has been quietly preparing you for this awakening. Imagine a person who has spent years walking a difficult path, burdened by setbacks, criticism, and the weight of unmet expectations. For a long time, it feels as if every step is in vain, as if the horizon is always just out of reach. But one day they notice something remarkable. The journey itself has changed them. Their resilience is stronger, their vision clearer, and their heart more compassionate. They begin to see the patterns in their struggles, the lessons hidden in pain, and the growth that has occurred even when it felt imperceptible. This realization is not the result of luck or chance. It is the result of trust, of continuing to move forward despite fear, and of believing in a purpose that may not have been visible at the start. You too are undergoing this transformation. Each act of courage, each choice to persevere, is building a foundation that will support the life you are capable of creating. Perhaps you have wondered why some obstacles feel heavier than others, or why certain challenges seem impossible to overcome. The truth is, it is often in the moments when life feels most demanding that our potential is expanding the most. Just as steel is strengthened by fire, your character is forged in the furnace of struggle. Pain, disappointment, and hardship are not punishments, they are catalysts shaping your ability to endure, to love, and to trust more deeply. And while it may be difficult to see in the moment, every test, every difficulty is crafting a version of yourself that is wiser, stronger, and more prepared for the future than you ever imagined. You may also notice that your perspective begins to shift. What once seemed terrifying or insurmountable now appears as a challenge to be faced, rather than a wall to block your way. Fear loses its grip, not because it disappears, but because you have discovered the courage to act despite it. You begin to recognize the strength within yourself, the inner resources you possess to navigate life, to heal from setbacks, and to pursue your dreams with determination. Each small victory reinforces this understanding: the courage to try again after failure, the compassion to forgive even when hurt, the patience to continue despite obstacles. All these are evidence of a growing inner power that cannot be taken away. Consider the ripple effect of your persistence. Every time you choose to trust in yourself and in the journey, you create a subtle influence on those around you. Your courage and resilience become examples of possibility, encouraging others to believe that their own obstacles are not insurmountable. Just as a single stone thrown into a pond sends ripples across the water, your actions, no matter how small, extend beyond your immediate experience. You may never see the full impact of your influence, but the energy you create reaches further than you can imagine, inspiring hope and courage in ways that may transform not only your life, but the lives of many others. As trust deepens, you also begin to understand the importance of letting go of control. It is natural to want to dictate every outcome, to ensure that life unfolds exactly as you hope. But real growth and transformation often come when we release the need to control, when we allow life to guide us through its unfolding rhythm. Trusting does not mean passivity, it means acting with purpose, while remaining open to the lessons, opportunities, and detours that life presents. This balance between effort and surrender, action and patience, is where true power resides. It is here in this delicate dance that you find freedom, resilience, and clarity. Perhaps you have felt moments of loneliness along your path, when the world seemed indifferent or when your own efforts appeared unnoticed. These moments are not signs of weakness, they are invitations to deepen your connection with yourself, to nurture the inner strength that will carry you through uncertainty. Solitude provides space for reflection, self-awareness, and personal growth. It allows you to listen to your inner voice, to recognize your desires and fears, and to cultivate the courage to act in alignment with your true self. In this silence, you begin to discover the depth of your own capacity, and the realization dawns that you are never truly alone, because the strength, wisdom, and courage you seek have always been within you. There is also a remarkable beauty in the journey itself. Life does not demand perfection, nor does it guarantee smooth paths. What it offers is the opportunity to grow, to learn, and to experience moments of profound connection, insight, and triumph. When you embrace the process with trust, every step, even those that feel small or uncertain, becomes meaningful. Every challenge, every setback, every moment of doubt becomes a teacher, guiding you toward a life of deeper fulfillment and understanding. You begin to recognize that the journey is not simply a means to an end, but a rich and transformative experience in itself. And so, as you continue to move forward, know that the path you walk is shaping you into someone capable of extraordinary things. The struggles you have endured are refining your character. The doubts you have faced are strengthening your resolve. The moments of trust, perseverance, and courage are building a foundation that cannot be shaken by circumstance. Slowly, steadily, the life you have longed for is being created, not through chance, but through the consistent, deliberate act of believing in yourself, in the process, and in the unseen possibilities that lie ahead. Each step forward, no matter how uncertain, is a testament to your resilience, your hope, and your unwavering capacity to rise above any challenge. And as you feel this inner shift, as trust and courage intertwine within your heart, you begin to understand a profound truth. Nothing is impossible when you carry faith in your journey, trust in your efforts, and hope in the unseen. Each moment you choose to continue, each choice to act despite fear, each commitment to your growth, these are the forces that transform dreams into reality, struggles into triumphs, and ordinary moments into extraordinary milestones. As you continue to embrace trust and perseverance, a remarkable transformation begins to unfold within you. You may start noticing a lightness in your heart, a quiet confidence that grows with each step you take. The fears that once loomed so large no longer hold the same power over you. You have walked through darkness, faced uncertainty, and persevered through challenges that at one time seemed insurmountable. And now, slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, you begin to see the fruits of your journey. Not in grand gestures or instant recognition, but in the subtle shifts, the calm steadiness in your thoughts, the clarity in your decisions, and the resilience that carries you forward even when the world around you feels chaotic. Imagine a person standing at the edge of a vast ocean, the waves crashing relentlessly against the shore. For years, the tides of life have battered them. Disappointments, losses, and moments of doubt have threatened to pull them under. Yet they have not surrendered. They have learned to navigate the currents, to adjust their sails, and to move steadily toward the horizon. And as they gaze across the endless waters, they realize that the ocean, once intimidating and overwhelming, is now a landscape of possibility. Every wave they endured, every struggle they weathered has prepared them for this moment of clarity and strength. This is the power of trust sustained over time. It turns challenges into mastery, fear into courage, and uncertainty into opportunity. You may also notice how the world begins to respond differently when you trust in your own journey. Doors that once seemed closed begin to open. Opportunities present themselves in ways you might not have anticipated, and connections appear that strengthen and guide you. Life does not always provide instant rewards, but those who persist with patience and faith eventually find that the universe, or perhaps simply the natural flow of effort and intention, aligns in unexpected and meaningful ways. And often the rewards are not just tangible successes, but inner peace, clarity, and a profound sense of purpose that no external validation can replicate. Perhaps you recall a time when you felt at your lowest, certain that progress was impossible, convinced that dreams were slipping further away. In those moments, every small step forward, every choice to continue despite fear, was an act of courage and faith. And now, looking back, even if only briefly, you begin to see how those acts were not in vain. They have built the foundation upon which your present strength rests. Your journey is not defined by the obstacles themselves, but by your response to them. By refusing to give up, by choosing trust over despair, you have been shaping a reality that once seemed beyond reach. As you continue, you may also find that your perspective on setbacks has shifted profoundly. What once caused despair now serves as a guide, highlighting areas where growth is needed or illuminating paths that you might not have considered. Challenges no longer feel like insurmountable walls, but like doors waiting to be opened. Each difficulty, each moment of fear becomes an opportunity to exercise patience, resilience, and determination. And with each success, no matter how small, the foundation of your confidence and trust strengthens, reinforcing the knowledge that you are capable of navigating whatever life presents. Consider the ripple effects of your transformation, not only within yourself, but in the lives of those around you. Your courage, patience, and perseverance become a living example of what is possible. Friends, family, colleagues, and even strangers are subtly influenced by the strength you demonstrate, often without your knowing it. One act of trust, one moment of persistence, one decision to rise despite difficulty can inspire countless others to take steps they might have believed impossible. The journey of personal growth is never isolated. It reaches outward, touching lives in ways that are both tangible and immeasurable. You may now notice a deeper sense of alignment between your actions and your inner purpose. Decisions that once felt uncertain now carry a quiet clarity. The path that once seemed unclear is gradually revealing itself, showing that persistence, trust, and courage are not just abstract concepts, but practical tools that shape reality. Every experience, every challenge, every step taken in faith has contributed to this alignment. You begin to understand that your life is not a series of random events, but a continuous process of growth and self-discovery, guided by your willingness to trust, act, and endure. And so, as you stand in this space of newfound clarity and strength, know that the journey continues. There will still be challenges ahead, moments when fear resurfaces and times when doubt whispers its familiar lies. But you now possess something far more powerful than these fleeting obstacles, the unwavering knowledge that you are capable, resilient, and equipped to navigate whatever comes your way. Trust has become a companion, perseverance a constant, and hope an enduring light that guides each step. In this place, you begin to see the extraordinary within the ordinary. Every breath, every choice, every effort is infused with meaning. Life is no longer a series of uncertain trials, but a canvas upon which you are painting your strength, courage, and vision. And as you continue to move forward, remember this: the journey itself is your teacher, your struggles are your mentors, and your persistence is the bridge that transforms dreams into reality. Nothing is impossible when you embrace the path with trust, act with courage and allow hope to illuminate even the darkest moments. So continue walking, continue striving, continue trusting. For each step you take, each choice to rise despite fear, and each moment of faith brings you closer to the life you are capable of creating. The power to overcome, the courage to endure, and the wisdom to grow are already within you. And slowly, gently, as you keep moving forward, you will realize that everything you once doubted is now within your reach. And everything you once feared is now a testament to your unwavering strength.